As Iran firmly rejects Donald Trump's renewed offer for so-called peace negotiations, tensions are rapidly escalating, hinting that a new war front could soon open across the volatile region. An Iran-backed proxy force is reportedly gearing up, signaling its readiness to join the widening Middle East conflict and potentially shift the regional balance of power. Following the turmoil around the Strait of Hormuz, yet another strategic oil choke point now faces the risk of being disrupted or even completely shut down, threatening global energy stability. With relentless Iranian-backed strikes continuing to pound targets, questions are mounting over whether the US and Israel can effectively contain any chaos across the Red Sea region. An Iran-aligned proxy group may soon enter the escalating Middle East war, as multiple intelligence reports now suggest a growing likelihood of their direct involvement. Yemen's Ansarullah movement, commonly known as the Houthis, is reportedly prepared to join the conflict on Iran's side, further intensifying the regional power struggle. According to fresh reports, Ansarullah forces are ready to assert control over the critical Bab al Mandeb Strait, a move that could threaten one of the world's most vital trade routes. Analysts point out that Houthi rebels have previously demonstrated that shutting down this strategic maritime choke point is well within their capability, underscoring the severity of the threat. It's worth remembering that the Houthis have long played a crucial role in coordinating attacks that targeted the Israeli regime and its interests across the region. Following Hamas' October 7 attacks and Israel's subsequent retaliation in Gaza, Houthi forces began targeting commercial vessels in the Red Sea in a show of solidarity. The group even attempted to impose a naval blockade on Israeli-linked ships and cargo vessels, aiming to choke maritime access and disrupt regional trade. That blockade significantly raised pressure on Israel's economy, forcing merchant ships to divert through longer, costlier routes around Africa to reach their destinations. Remember, Houthi rebels launched a significant attack on a commercial cargo ship in the Red Sea near Yemen on July 7, 2025, an operation that heightened global concern over the security of vital shipping lanes. The cargo vessel Eternity Sea was reportedly struck by sea drones and rocket-propelled grenades fired from fast-moving speedboats, according to the Times of Israel. Security firm Ambri confirmed that men aboard small boats, along with explosive-laden drones, jointly targeted the ship in a coordinated maritime assault. After enduring repeated Houthi attacks over several days, the stricken cargo vessel finally sank on July 9, marking the end of a prolonged and violent engagement. Although the Houthis did not immediately claim responsibility, they later released video evidence showcasing the attack and the ship's final moments at sea. The Greek-owned Eternity Sea had been navigating toward the Suez Canal when it came under intense fire, forcing the crew to abandon course amid heavy damage. It became the second cargo ship to be targeted in the Red Sea within just 48 hours, underscoring the growing frequency of Houthi maritime operations. On July 6, another vessel, the Magic Seas cargo ship, came under attack in a sustained 4-hour assault launched by the Houthis in the same region. Houthi media later released footage depicting the Magic Seas carrier sinking after the strike, confirming the full extent of the damage. Video clips showed armed fighters boarding the vessel, searching its compartments, and later standing on the stern while chanting their slogans of victory. Moments afterward, a drone camera captured multiple, near-simultaneous explosions ripping through the vessel. The Greek-operated ship was then seen slowly listing to one side before disappearing beneath the surface of the Red Sea. Strategically, the Red Sea borders Yemen's coastline and serves as a vital maritime artery for global oil shipments and commercial trade routes. A potential blockade of the Bab al Mandeb Strait would mark the next major escalation, coming right after Iran's closure of the Strait of Hormuz and signaling a broader attempt to choke global oil and trade routes. The Strait of Hormuz, located off the southern coast of Iran, remains one of the world's most critical waterways, responsible for transporting nearly 1/5 of all global oil shipments every day. Amid the intensifying conflict, commercial shipping through the strait has effectively come to a standstill, raising fears of a severe disruption to the global energy supply chain. Asia, which depends on the Strait of Hormuz for roughly 80% of its energy imports, is now preparing for a potential worst-case scenario that could cripple its economic stability. In response to the unfolding crisis, South Korea has established a high-level emergency task force aimed at tackling what officials are calling an unprecedented energy emergency. The Philippines has gone a step further by officially declaring a national state of emergency, warning of an imminent danger of low energy supply that could impact basic services nationwide. Meanwhile, Japan is urgently reassessing its entire supply chain of petroleum-related products, exploring alternative routes and suppliers to minimize the fallout from this looming energy shock. At least 9 people, including 6 children, were injured in the attack on Bnei Brak on March 24, turning an ordinary day in central Israel into yet another moment of fear and chaos for civilians. Huge destruction was reported in Bnei Brak after what Israeli media described as an Iranian cluster missile attack struck central Israel and scattered damage across a densely populated urban area. According to Yet, citing MDA, a 23-year-old man was moderately injured in the strike, while 11 others were reported to have suffered lighter wounds in the same attack. The missile used in this attack was identified by Yet as a cluster-type munition, a weapon designed to spread multiple smaller explosives instead of delivering a single blast at one impact point. Iran's cluster munitions are ballistic missiles fitted with cluster warheads that open while still in flight, allowing them to release multiple submunitions before reaching the ground. These cluster munitions burst open in midair and scatter many smaller bomblets over a far wider area, increasing the danger zone well beyond a single strike location. Because they release many smaller bomblets instead of one conventional warhead, these missiles are harder to stop and create a more complex challenge for missile defense systems. Israeli long-range systems such as Arrow can attempt to intercept the incoming missile before the cluster warhead opens and releases its submunitions in the air. However, once the warhead disperses and the bomblets spread out, those smaller targets become much more difficult for air defense systems to track, calculate, and engage in time. The bomblets can spread across a broad area and place extra strain on shorter-range defenses like Iron Dome, which are not optimized to handle a cloud of many small falling threats. Reports say Iranian missiles can carry roughly 24 to 80 bomblets depending on the missile type, which means a single launch can threaten multiple locations at once. Cluster mechanisms are not limited to one category of weapon and can be used with ballistic missiles, other long-range systems, rockets, and even artillery-delivered munitions. Cluster munitions are widely criticized around the world because unexploded bomblets can remain active on the ground, posing a deadly risk to civilians long after the initial attack is over. The Convention on Cluster Munitions, or CCM, is a 2008 international treaty that bans the use, production, transfer, and stockpiling of cluster munitions among its member states. However, neither Iran nor Israel is a party to the 2008 Convention on Cluster Munitions, meaning both remain outside the treaty framework that prohibits these weapons.